Hello, and thank you for joining me here on So Stitch Hex. I'm Miss Izzy, and today is another segment of Bibliofancy. It is the Tao of Pooh, which I listen to on YouTube because books are available free on YouTube. If you look, there are audiobooks. There are actually a couple playlists of nothing but mysticism and magic theory and practice books. The entire no, it's on here. So many other books like the Tao Te Ching. It's on here for free. If you just look, just Google or YouTube search it. I Googled and that's where I found it. But yeah, so I listened to it while I was doing other things because I'm a busybody, buzzing around. And I found audiobooks to be so helpful. I get done with twice as many books because of it. I was not a fan. I don't think Taoism's for me. I don't think so at all. No. Like, it was cute. I'll give it that. And, like, look. It's got the cute little picture. And there's a bunch of other little pictures in here. Like, here they are. All together. But I really was not fond of the descriptions in the book. Like, Pooh being, like, the epitome because he is the wood block. The uncarved block. Because he's able to learn easier and see different things because he is not wise. Like, Owl is seen as negative because he's so well read. Too much knowledge is a bad thing. I mean, yes, it is bad to know so much that you don't think you can learn and that you think you're always right. Like, as they say, you should know enough of a subject to be fluent in, I guess, in doing it, but not so that you always think you're right and you don't question yourself. But I found their view of gaining such knowledge and being so well read as a negative. I mean, especially with, like, my wanting to read everything, all of it. But yeah, I didn't enjoy that. I didn't like how they saw Eeyore because Eeyore is depression, and poor Piglet being anxiety. If you haven't taken the test, there's like a test online you can take that tells you which of the characters you are most like based off of mental disorders like anxiety, depression, Christopher Robin being schizophrenia, Rue being autism, Tigger ADHD, Eeyore was depression, Piglet's anxiety. I don't remember. Oh, OCD is rabbit. I don't remember that many. I don't remember all of them. But you take that if you want, and then kind of tell you which one you might fit in. Of course, I had a lot for Tigger, but my two biggest ones tied at like 80% were, because they'll give you more. It's like one of those graphs that goes in a circle and they put the lines. I forgot the name of those. But like 80% for Eeyore and Piglet. And I do have a anxiety and depression disorder. It happens. And in here, they specifically talk about how Eeyore is one of the people who, they just complain to complain. They don't want to be happy. Eeyores are just the ones who always see the glass half empty. And I was very disturbed by this. I was very perturbed overall by their just, like, the moment they started talking down about Eeyore, I'm like, listen, Eeyore has other problems. Like, what the heck? He's not just gonna conform to some ideas. Like, he's got problems. He is the epitome of depression. And they're just talk bad like he wants to be that way. Like, I don't think Eeyore wants to be depressed all the time. He doesn't want to be upset because his house fell down. He doesn't want to be any of those things. He just is. He just is. And I found that depiction, like, uncool, I guess, because, like, I wouldn't want someone to think that I just intentionally look at the negative side. Like, I thought this was a cute book, but, yeah, and then they complained about Piglet being, like, too hesitant, and he's got anxiety. He's afraid of everything. Like, he can't help it. Plus, he's such a small piglet. He's just so little. He's so wee, and his best friend's a big bear. I'd be afraid of a lot of things, too. Especially if my friend was a big bear and he was stupid. I'm not pointing at you. Stuffed animals over there. Just randomly pointing. I just saw them in the background. I was like, I'm pointing at someone. Stuffies. Anyway, yeah, so I was not a fan of this book just for the simple way it's described. Like, I personally don't think this is the philosophy that I will live by. That's cool. I can read a section of it, though. It's pretty cute. Let me find a good part to read. The Pooh Way. By the time it came to the edge of the forest, the stream had grown up so that it was almost a river, and being grown up, it did not run and jump and sparkle along as it used to do when it was younger, but moved more slowly, for it knew now where it was going. And it said to itself, "There is no hurry. We shall get there someday." Now, we come to what could be called the most characteristic element of Taoism in action. In Chinese, it is known as Wu Wei. It is also the most characteristic element of Pooh in action. In English, it is not known as much of anything in particular. We believe that it's time that someone noticed it and called it something, so we will call it the Pooh Wei, which is kind of funny. Pooh Wei and the Wu Wei. Literally, Wu Wei means without doing, causing, or making. But practically speaking, it means without meddlesome, combative, or egotistical effort. It seems rather significant that the character Wei developed from the symbols for a clawing hand and a monkey, since the term Wu Wei means no going against the nature of things, no clever tampering, no monkeying around. The efficiency of Wu Wei is like that of water flowing over and around the rocks in its path, not the mechanical, straight-line approach that usually ends up short-circuiting natural laws, but one that evolves from an inner sensitivity to the natural rhythm of things. Let's take an example from the writings of Chao Tse. I'm not sure how to... Chang Tse? I'm sorry. Pronunciation. At the gorge of Lu, the great waterfall plunges from thousands of feet, its spray visible for miles in the churning waters below. No living creature can be seen. One day, Kung Fu Tse was standing at a distance from the pool's edge when he saw an old man being tossed about in the turbulent water. He called to his disciples, and together they ran to rescue the victim. But by the time they reached the water, the old man had climbed out onto the bank and was walking around, singing to himself. Kung Fu Tse hurried up to him. "You would have to be a ghost to survive that," he said, "but you seem to be a man instead. What secret power do you have?" "Nothing special," the old man replied. "I began to learn while very young and grew up practicing it. Now I am certain of success. I go down with the water and come up with the water. I follow it and forget myself. I survive because I don't struggle against the water's superior power. That's all." When we learn to work with our own inner nature and with the natural laws operating around us, we reach the level of Wu Wei. Then we work with the natural order of things and operate on the principle of minimal effort. Since the natural world follows that principle, it does not make mistakes. Mistakes are made or imagined by man. The creature with the overloaded brain who separates himself from the supporting network of natural laws by interfacing and trying too hard. So, there are parts that I enjoy, like the idea of the Wu Wei, or the Pooh Wei. But overall, the ideas that, the way that they put down problems with Eeyore, like, yes, Eeyore could be better. Eeyore could be on a medication. Or Eeyore could do daily meditations and other things to put himself in a better spirit, but he's still suffering with, or in literal criticism, still suffering with a disorder. So it's not just going to be something he can just get over. It's not something that I think should be criticized as it is in the book. Yes, it works well for their examples to write the text, but that does not mean that I agree, and that does not mean that I like it. So overall, it's cute. It is, it does break down the concepts in Taoism pretty well, I think. I still haven't read the Tao Piglet. I still need to. Let me see. It is... It is pretty... It's pretty cute. Let me see. Let's consider emptiness in general for a moment. What is it about a Taoist landscape painting that seems so refreshing to so many different kinds of people? The emptiness, the space that's not filled in. What is it about fresh snow, clean air, pure water, or good music? Claude Debussy expressed it as Claude Debussy. Debussy? I'm sorry. Names are like the bane of my existence. Expressed it. Music is the space between the notes. Whoa, baby. Away, wee baby. Wonga, wonga, wonga. Baby, don't leave me. Wonga, wonga, crash, bang. Baby, don't leave me. Click. Like silence after noise, or cool, clear water on a hot, stuffy day, emptiness cleans out the messy mind and charges up the batteries of spiritual energy, which works well with being Zen, and the actual idea of Zen nature, clearing the space, and how to making your room more feng shui, work with the energy. Remove clutter to clear the mind. But I work well in chaos, so I don't want to get rid of my stuff. I like all the mess. I like covering the walls and everything. It's just like craziness. Anyway, many people are afraid of emptiness, however, because it reminds them of loneliness. Everything has to be filled in, it seems. Appointment books, hillsides, vacant lots. But what all the spaces are filled, the loneliness really begins. Then the groups are joined, the classes are signed up for, and the gift to yourself items are bought. When the loneliness starts creeping in the door, the television set is turned on to make it go away. But it doesn't go away. Some of us do instead. And after discarding the emptiness of the big congested mess, we discover the fullness of nothing. One of our favorite examples of the value of nothing is an incident in the life of the Japanese Emperor Hirohito. Now, being emperor in one of the most frantically Confucianist countries in the world is not necessarily all that relaxing. From early morning until late at night, practically every minute of the emperor's time is filled in with meetings, audiences, tours, inspections, and who knows what, and through a day so tightly scheduled that it would make a stone wall seem open by comparison. The emperor must glide like a great ship sailing in a steady breeze. In the middle of a particularly busy day, the emperor was driven to a meeting hall for an appointment of some kind. But when he arrived, there was no one there. The emperor walked into the middle of the great hall, stood silently for a moment, then bowed to the empty space. He turned to his assistants. There was a lot of s in that word. I just couldn't speak. A large smile on his face. "We must schedule more appointments like this," he told them. "I haven't enjoyed myself so much in a long time." In the 48th chapter of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tse wrote, "To attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day." And the cute picture in the page before, which is what made me stop and realize, oh, I like this one. Is Eeyore doing a little headstand. It's so cute. I like Eeyore. I like Tigger too. T-I-double-G-R. That spells Tigger. But yeah. So it's really cute to read. As you can see, it flows really easily. It's great to understand. The language is very easy. It's nice to read, like to yourself, to just listen to. That's a great book because in that respect. I like books that I can sit and just hear. Like those are great. Even if I don't end up enjoying it in the end or agreeing with it, I'm still glad I read it. And I found their ways help me the ways of this book help me comprehend what I have learned in the Tao Te Ching better. Since I listened to this first. But yeah. So this was a segment of Bibliofancy on the Tao of Pooh by Benjamin Hoff. I forgot to say the author, Benjamin Hoff. And this has been So Sit Checks. So thank you, and I hope to see you again.